going there, missus. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked her house up for her. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's my friend. She was one of the Magisters once. She was very high up. She used to look for God people and help them. But then she stopped that and just stayed in the house all the time. She used to play with me, but then the Magisters took her away, they did. They took her outside the village. I'm not allowed outside the village.
She looks around theatrically to see if there's anyone listening.
When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns and skips away.
Do you even know what they've done to you?
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! That's internal order business. You'd do well to leave it alone. Let's just say Zeus and there was of help to sorcerers and leave it at that. She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Meister Seaver. She's a seeker and she's a bloody traitor. What have you heard? Have you heard that they killed our beloved Alexander? She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her, at least as far as you can trust a lizard. To repay that trust, the Meister gave Alexander up to his enemies. She wasn't there when Alexander fell, but White Magister Raymond uncovered the truth. She's as guilty as any of them, and I reckon she got off lightly. I'd have had her flayed alive with a salted bullwhip. You're going to... what, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
I have my order.
A Magister guard.
Step away from the prisoner, dwarf! You're going to... She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. I'll regret this, I know I will. All right, I'll stand aside.
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers.
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the...
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well. Or indeed you could stand there gawping as if you were a cow ordered to dance a reel. It is a masterful performance. I would applaud it, but well...
The Meister bares her teeth, stained again.
Melody is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it, too. Apparently I was a rich vein to be mined. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength, but not enough to leave me a hollow sack of flesh and scales. I had hoped they simply wished to preserve my charm and beauty, but no. It seemed Dallas had ordered that I be held until she could do the deed herself. To give it the personal touch, I imagine. Now that you have had that... that delightful little nugget of gossip... perhaps you could do your damn job and let me loose?
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. By the seven, where are you going? Get me down! Well, have you found time in your busy schedule to do your duty and release me? Be quick about it. Who knows when that Magister might return? What are you waiting for? Do it, damn you! If they find out what you are, you'll be blessed. What? Where are you going? No, come back! Damn you! Well, have you found time in your busy schedule? Be quick about it. Who knows when that... God's teeth, it feels good to move again. Now, let's scurry off before that Magister wanders back. Meet me at my home in Driftwood, and we can see what you're made of.
Place has seen better days.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like...
Damnable red-cloaked baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend to divinity. There is a process.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks a vial of shimmering liquid, sauce. She lets a couple of drops fall on her hand, but instead of infusing with her body, they quickly evaporate on her scale. She stares at the empty spot on her palm for a long moment before turning back to you.
A process by which God-woken may ascend. It begins with discovering your deepest self, delving into your own soul. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Push the button. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride.
A stone
Now,
door lies
kindly
flush with the floorboards.
combination.
Etched whorls in the
As
granite
pointed
frame a
out,
delicate rotary dial.
We can go nowhere until you open the safe in the floor. The combination is 15R, 34L, 23R, 35R, 9R, 16L, 33L, 45R, 51L, 1L.
The stone door remains just as it was when you last saw it, rigid and unmovable. Only the rotary dial crowning it. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sound...
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at...
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place
Feel
is an
free to
alchemist's
look about
dream.
while I catch my breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, God-woken? And you in your infinite wisdom would know what is better. You would judge your enemies without prejudice and make decisions that could hurt your own for the greater good. No, becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void, The Divine cannot use her power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch Divinity from the jaw. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal. Although you will need to sacrifice a little. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as...
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
Once, although not by a Godwoken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. Well, certainly. It is not my place to police the stupidity of others. I have to admit I was curious. Imagine if it had been a success. Why, then anyone could have ascended, even I... Alas, success was beyond her reach. Quite fascinating to watch, though. I've never seen a body burn from the inside out before. And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed. Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients. You explore the remaining ingredients, but you've already taken everything you...
you simple. Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain. Go! you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain. Go!
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients thrown together in no. You explore the remaining ingredients. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
The deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see me, look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become
blind eyes. Shine, speak the spell, and see.
God is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Rallick in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. Your God-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Rallick nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. To save us both, as a matter, you must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught, that means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. You most certainly will. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to be... That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice, in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism, and a dreadful mistake. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take... Only she who claims everything will be everything. The void's doom. This world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you, or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods, their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin. Of course, the ends do just life. If you choose life, you choose the Well of Ascension. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source, and our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You have so much to learn, so much higher to climb. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must you must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life, you have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the best of luck. Go now.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hunger.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
The Meister's eyes flash with fury, but she holds her tongue.
You are not a pile of ash, so the ritual was a success, albeit partially. You had all the material requirements, so I can only assume your source was lacking. That is unfortunate. I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of source. And I could have... The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to... Enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. You will not be there long, I assure you. There is only so much you can glean. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter...
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters. On finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bite.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides...
The Meister's back. The Meister. She doesn't feel like playing.
Hell with them. I need those reports down. Surrounded by incompetence. I deserve a better posting. What's this? Damn it, Barwell, you're supposed to be stopping intruders.
It's Belworth, sir.
I don't care. Keep on alert until this fiend... What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's magic. Get yourself together. We still have cells for you to be thrown into. Now answer me, why are you here? You can circle the poles twice each for all I care, as long as you don't interfere with my investigation. I'm not some foot soldier, you clod. I can't put myself at risk. We've lost 3 of our number to this Higba fiend so far. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my majesty. No matter. He'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell... Well, do you know anything? I'm already aware of that, establishment. We have an informal agreement. They show discretion and don't interfere with majesty. I can't believe they'd have any involvement in this. They'd be fools to act against us. Stop wasting my time, then. Belson, my inkwell is dry.
Sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
The Magister grumbles under her breath.
Bloody bastard will never get my name right. I've been under his command for almost a year. That's Magister business. Keep your nose out of it.
Belson, my inkwell is dry.
That's all you have to say. You may as well leave me to it.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake.
The Magister turns to you with a scowl. He already seemed immense.
What?
Who asked you? You're not even supposed to be down here. Keep out of it!
The Magister turns.
What?
The Magister glances at you like you're...
Keep out of it! That's what I want to know. Stuck here with those silent things. The new leadership ought to learn to respect its veterans. We're the ones who uphold the rule of law, not white ponches like Raymond and Jonathan.
A sly smile creeps across the Magister's...
Aye, and sooner than you might think, if the rumours are true. Let's just say, there's other places where I'd be appreciated more than I am in Driftwood.
The Magister loses some of his bluster.
I ain't saying. It's a secret for loyal members of the Divine Order only. Who asked you? You're not even supposed to be down here.
The Magister glances around the cells, before ripping the keys from his belt and...
This isn't the Divine Order I signed up for. Not anymore.
Bellwether, I need those reports.
Of course, sir. Right away.
Passionless, unblinking eyes regard you from beneath... The silent watcher... The spirit of an emaciated prisoner is staring down at his own corpse.
Of all the stupid ways to go. Oh, it was a stupid bloody accident. I dosed myself with some poison to make it look like I was half dead. I figured they'd take me to see a healer and I'd have a chance to escape. I must have taken too much of the stuff though. Wound up fully dead instead of half dead. Those bastards haven't even moved me body.
The spirit scowls at you.
I did nothing. Or I didn't do what they accused me of, at least. A miscarriage of justice is what this is. That's putting it bloody lightly. Nobody deserves to rot in a hole like this. Best leave that secret for someone who needs it. You can stroll out of here whenever you like.
The Magister grumbles under her...
Bloody bastard will never get my name right. I've been under his command for almost...
Milton, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Of course, sir. Right away.